The 1919 World Series was an 8-game series between the Cincinnati Reds and Chicago White Sox. Reds winning 5 and the White Sox winning 3. Several of the White Sox players were accused of throwing the game, being paid by a gambler named Arnold Rothstein. Those players included C. Arnold Chick Gando, Eddie Cicotte, Claude Lefty Williams, shortstop Charles Swede Risberg, and outfielder Oscar Happy Felch. Third baseman Buck Weaver was initially in the scandal but pulled out. Each of the players in the deal were to receive $100,000 by getting 5 payments of $20,000, one after each loss of a series, which back then went to 9 games. Hard hitter Shoeless Joe Jackson was also approached about the deal. One of the first pitches thrown by Eddie Cicotte hit the batter as an indication that the deal was on. The first game, the White Sox got bludgeoned 9-1 by the Reds. The White Sox players kept losing games, and by October 6th, the Reds were leading 4-1. The 9-1 first loss in the first game of the World Series was the most a team had ever lost in the first game of the World Series in their history by that time. The gamblers stopped committing payments at that time, and the White Sox players thought that they were getting hustled and trying to start winning games. They then rattled off 2 back-to-back wins until the White Sox players' families started receiving threats from the gamblers, which then the White Sox eventually had to lose the rest of the series. In The Great Gatsby, find out Meyer Wolfsheim was the man who fixed the game in the World Series when they say, "Meyer Wolfsheim? No, he's a gambler." Gatsby hesitated, then added coolly, "He's the man who fixed the World Series back in 1919. The last 2 games, the White Sox won 5-4 and 4-1. Backing out against the Gambler Hustlers became dangerous as several of the players' family received threats. Due to intimidation or unexpectedly strong opponents, the Sox went to lose Game 8 of the series 10-5. Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis and the first commissioner of the MLB decided that the 8 players involved in the scandal were banned from organized baseball forever. The throwing of this World Series was the first time this has ever been seen in Major League Baseball. It was a very high-profile case back then in the 20s, which was then called the Roaring Twenties. A lot of people had different theories about this game, but one for sure is that these players did receive a lot of punishment for this, whether the gamblers really threatened their families or not.